Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. It's the Budgie Buddies Joshua J and K with a mid-January update today. Today, it's out with the old and in with the new 2025. We've got an upcoming relocation, I switch out some of my speakers, and I get a new pressure cooker. Boy, it seems like everybody's having a hard time with a place to stay. Is it by design or is it not? I've got to get out of here in 5 or 6 weeks unless the new owner somehow decides to find a way to allow me to stay, maybe watch the property or whatever. But he probably want me to help him clean up and everything, and I don't know if I'm into that, if I'm paying to stay, or if he's going to expect too much out of me, or what. So I've got a couple of places I might be able to move. Good morning, J and K. How are my two little best buddies doing today? Well, today we are going to do something new. It's out with the old and in with the new. I've gotten rid of my 5 Blue Octave speakers. I'm probably going to bring them up to the end of the road and have a yard sale and sell them, and I've replaced them with my dual ported, dual driver Yamahas on the left and right that I got from that RV roof job. They just kind of gave them to me, but I consider them just part of the deal since they're actually rather valuable. About a couple $100 the set for the used. I got this center speaker from them as well, and it had some breaks in it, cracks, and some of these screw mounts were busted, and I took it all apart, which was quite the project, and super glued all the stuff together, and 99%ed it for a 99-cent tube of super glue. Calendar today, I've got the men's group, and they've actually decided to make me the photographer. I believe I'm gonna get an award for it if I have enough time between this editing and upload. Maybe I'll toss a photo, make it a group one if they'll let me. I found a better place to hang my Craftsman tools and chargers and batteries for now instead of over here, because I moved the big buddy heater down or up off the floor up against the wall so that it fits in a lot better. It gives me a little extra space and a lot more floor, and just makes the whole place look a whole lot bigger. And speaking of the place getting bigger, remember I said I was going to get more subwoofers, and well, I've actually got less. I got rid of that cheap Chinese speaker and moved the KLH over in the corner and gave it some space, and that really opened that thing up and took care of everything. The Roland isn't even plugged in. It's just sitting there if I want to pick it up and take it somewhere. I went ahead and I got my big American Audio, or whatever brand it is, a big 12-inch powered speaker, turned around, and I'm using it for many reasons actually. I'm using it for a subwoofer, a mid-bass subwoofer. Kind of centers it out a little. It's kind of nice, and it pairs up nicely with the dual driver bandpass. That's actually a passive subwoofer hooked up to the output on that. That of course is active subwoofer, but this also got this plugged in because I've started playing on my bass guitar. So I've got it just where I can just pick it up, hit the switch, start playing. Also, I got it same with the microphone. I've got me a nice high quality microphone and a actual XLR balanced cable. I'm going to get some more of them as well. I can plug it in right there and tweak it and have me a little karaoke. And since the speaker's not facing right at me, it's not too terrible on the reverb and effect, and I can get a little practice at, talking and singing into a microphone. But I can also take the wireless lapel mic that I'm actually talking on now, that normally hooks up to the computer that I said I could double the sound card. Well, I can use that. I have it back fed into the line input on the stereo, and I can actually sing karaoke through the surround sound as well. The problem with that is there's a millisecond or two delay, and it makes a bit of an echo, but it actually sounds kind of neat because It actually sounds almost like a professional echo, but there's really no adjustment for it. And then of course there's the big 15-inch powered one, still sitting in its same spot. In fact, probably sometime today or tomorrow, I'm actually going to be taking this wobbly thing apart and actually attaching it to the wall, and fixing that up a little better now that I've kind of figured out where I want. I'm on the fence about building a shelf up here, or leaving this space open for the birds, and maybe moving the microwave right here if I could, but I think it might get in the way of the air conditioner and I'd have to move the antenna. So I might just put a little rack up there or something, you know, really shallow rack, just to give me a little tiny bit of storage space. But I am thinking about coming in here with a shelf along here and along here. Now that I've got these speakers kind of tamed out, managed a little better, you know, I went ahead and repurposed my KLHs back to a good spot. And you know, honestly, with all the high quality balanced speakers in really good spots now, that it really makes this RCA shine. And I don't have to have it up as loud and intense, and they're still clear, and they fit just about right. You know, they don't overload. I don't have to worry about blowing them or even any distortion really, unless the music itself's got some problems. Okay, now look at this. This is not the same recliner. I will show you a picture of what I had going on here, and but as you can see, it was coming out to here on the floor to get enough clearance to lean out. Whereas this new one, look at all this extra space. It just feels so much bigger. And you know, it's this maroon color, but it is powered. And it doesn't go back up against the wall when it leans back, so that's why I can have it up. And it's also solid. Very, very, very solid. Decided to keep this chair because after taking measurements, it's actually not any wider than your normal recliner, even though it looks that way. That space underneath it has been invaluable, and it is rather comfortable and fits a variety of people. So I'm going to keep it for now. And I've still got the matching one, even though it's in worse shape, in the shed if I ever really, really want to do anything with them. You know, the guitar, I think I'm just going to leave it alone for a while. But this is just kind of, you know, come a little spot to collect things before I get and work on moving the floor out. Finally got up in here and got all these little holes and stuff sealed up in there. Let's see. Yeah, I got that duct still blowing out from the furnace, nice and bright, and running up behind the new recliner. Got it all cleaned out up underneath there too. I need to sweep it out, but I found out those holes in the floor right there that I can't really patch up too good. These somebody donated a bunch of boxes of these, what are they, underpads or something they're called, anyway, for the bird cage. But I found that they make great little, you know, barriers for stuff like this for right now while I was working on the project. But anyways, so yeah, I got that all cleaned out and worked out where I can start working on that space and start making, you know, making something out of this, put some drawers in over here. And I want to, like I said, put me a garbage can that slides out over here kind of idea. I might build a small shelf or really, you know, shallow cabinet right there, but I don't want anything sticking out because I've had like this with this over the sink, and I hate it. I hate having to duck under the sink. And I've got the stainless steel sink outside that I'm most likely going to switch it out with. And as you can see over here, pressure cooker. I got a pressure cooker. It's donated, has a few little quirks. I don't know. This thing here really needs a new seal. I don't know if I want to get a pressure gauge for it or what, but I think I do. But I've oh good, it's popped down too. I've been getting into making beans. with the pressure cooker now. See how they came out. Oh yeah, I think I did better than last time they came out. I'll show you the picture of the soup I made a couple days ago that I finished up last night. I think these might have come out just a little more solid than those. Good deal. All right, now I just got to learn how to flavor them right. And speaking of flavoring, at the men's group, I'm supposed to be helping one of the fellas do the dinner tonight, so I'm gonna be working on that. Okay, so all fragmented to backtrack with the new recliner instead of the old recliner. Now I got it pushed up against here. Well, I had those cabling, goodness, I had the cabling going across the ceiling, and the birds used to jump up there and enjoy it. Well, I had to remove it because now they're gonna be pooping right on me instead of behind the recliner where I could manage it, you know. And so I said, you know, I'm gonna build them a little perch and toy. They don't really care for it too much, but I try to get them on there once every couple of days and have a little treat, and maybe one day they'll like it a lot. But you know, they're getting old. They're probably getting on to 6 years old, I guess. So they probably only got about another year before they get to the point where they're gonna be, you know, passing away any day or any year. You know, they might last 7 years, they might last 10 or 12, but you know, 7 years is about when you can expect to, you know, have to look into them going bye-bye. And so I'm thinking I'm probably going to replace, you know, replace them. Gonna get a couple more birds, but maybe not. I don't know. Do I want the space and the quiet, or do I like the little bit of chirping and the extra attention? Anyways, you know, bathroom just doing what it always does. Except now that I'm more of a photographer, I got my tripods constantly being used, so I've got to find a better place to store and stack them. I think I found a better place to put this fan up on top of this for now. The keyboard and its stand just sits in here. I'm going to try to probably find a way to, like you can see some of these strings and stuff, and I got that piece of foam right there. Start stacking, you know, finding ways to stack stuff up against the ceiling and whatnot. Remember that EA Sun power I was saying was, you know, doing this funky activity when I'd run it with the air conditioner and stuff during the summer? Well, now what it does is first thing in the morning as it's getting up in the amps is it'll give me an error, and I can only assume it's an over voltage because I'm pushing the volts limit on this thing, but it never gave me no trouble up until last week or two. And if I started disconnecting the wire, and I ended up just go ahead and putting me a switch in so I can just disconnect it and reconnect it. Sometimes first time it'll reset it and it'll work. Sometimes I got to do it 2 or 3 times because I just got sick of pulling the wires out, and then it'll work. Well, sometimes it'll work all day. Sometimes it'll work for a couple, you know, an hour or so. So it's getting to be, but this is my main charger, so when it doesn't go, my batteries don't charge up like they should during the day. So, you know, I might be replacing the EA Sun power, which kind of, again, part of me kind of wants to, because I hate the way it acts with the air conditioner on. But if I do, this right here has been the best branded. So I'm going to get the big brother version of that brand and just pay a lot more than I should. Won't say should, but a lot more than I could. Okay, so any more out with the old and with the new? Oh, hold on, I've got a phone call. Boy, it seems like everybody's having a hard time with a place to stay. Is it by design or is it not? I've got to get out of here in 5 or 6 weeks unless the new owner somehow decides to find a way to allow me to stay, maybe watch the property or whatever. But he probably want me to help him clean up and everything, and I don't know if I'm into that, if I'm paying to stay, or if he's going to expect too much out of me, or what. So I've got a couple of places I might be able to move, but next door they're coming in with the airport thing that nobody voted on, saying that he, you know, because of this new airport, the easements are making it so he's not allowed to have RVs and this and that unless he gets whatever the legal stuff jargon is. Anyway, they're going to be charging him $1,000 a day per RV per site if he doesn't meet compliance, or if he can even meet compliance. They don't even know. They haven't even made a decision if he can have them or not yet. So he's in total limbo. So he's got people moving out and he's got to rearrange things all on his dime. You know, I said he really needs an attorney. But you know, his poor people really can't afford that. I think I might go over there though and talk to him about that, and maybe I'll get on the phone this week and start calling around, see if I can't find an attorney to do something more than nothing for us. But anyway, so out with the old, in with the new. Same with my shoe. Multiply it by more than 2. I got my old boots and old shoes and stuff, and I've gone ahead and ended up, where did they go? There they are. Finding me some $70 Skechers for $15 at the Goodwill. Never even looked like it'd been in a foot. Couldn't pass them up. Got my high tops that I use kind of like boots for working. They were nice until I did that RV roof and made them not nice. And then I got my, actually so wore out, they got a hole in the sole and water seeps in and gets my sock wet now. So those slip-ons, I got to find some more slip-ons soon. But that's a problem. I've been always buying high tops lately, so I don't got no old slip-ons to replace those with. Anyway, my door seals still need a lot of work, so I am just literally jamming up what I can around the doors to keep them, keep it from being drafty. But then the seal up here from all this shifting around has come loose, so when it rains hard, it drips up in here and gets this all wet. And, oh, it's just been a nightmare. So I've been having to go up in this corner. You can see it's still a little wet from last night, and just keeping it dry until I can get this thing straightened out. I gotta, you know, like I said, I put the whole new framing all the way across. And like I said, when I do it, I'm probably just gonna push that wall out. Let's see. Oh, out with the old. You saw the other old smoking device that's just so hard to keep clean. I got this one here that a little bit of alcohol in it, rinsing it out keeps it nice and clean. I got me a coffee press. I don't think I actually like it. Or maybe I do, I can't really decide. I think though, what I really need to do, because this little setup is just terrible. I need to get one of those that actually shaped for that and get into doing that the right way. I think that's what I'm really gonna do. I'm also gonna try spending a little extra money and getting Colombian coffee and seeing if that makes a difference too, because I just, not consistent, not satisfying all the time. Once in a while it's stellar, but most of the time it's just not too terrific. Found a better spot to mount my little battery meter and everything, and I found this out in the shed, some that I could have for free, and got me a little projector to hook up to this cell phone or the laptop. But it doesn't work on the tablet because this thing is like 600 by 1260, not 720. 600, so it's very narrow and long and wide. It's not 16 by 9, so Dex comes out stretched out. But because this phone is like a 2.1 or 2.2 to 1, it actually works out just about right, where YouTube will cut the edges off and it'll show up the proper aspect ratio. Same with laptop, because I can go in there and force it into 600 instead of 720. It'll actually project, and then of course it'll adjust a full screen picture to fit right. But it's not very bright either, but it does have a good battery, and it is portable, and it is free. So, you know, there. See, it's not completely useless. Come on, put something, there we go. You know, not completely useless, but I'll tell you, it is hard to read text on. This isn't too bad because the text is a quarter the size of the display, but regular text, even with the resolution down to 600, is difficult to read. It's basically just a picture player, but again, pretty cool though for something that I can literally just stick in my e-bike and carry with me with my cell phone, as long as I got my HDMI cable. It's, again, so basic, it's not funny. It does have a speaker in it, and you can actually hear the speaker, even though it's obviously very limited range. All right, let's see. Is there anything else I can think of? Out with the old and with the new. Of course, there's a television set. I got this new Samsung with a couple little minor defects that, since I've got the recliner pushed back further, is even harder and more impossible to notice. So I'm even more happy with the TV. Oh, the Demers speakers. I got these included with these speakers from the RV roof replacement job. And one of these had a broken speaker, broken inside of it. You know, this mount for the speakers busted inside. And the other one ended up having the electronics on it shorting out where it would charge, but it wouldn't. I think it would like power on or something, but it would just, I don't know, it'd flip out and just act weird and shut off again. I did everything I could with that circuit to try to get it to work, thinking it was actually the battery at first. I was about to order 2 new batteries for 20 bucks for these things. And then I figured out that it was a circuit board by switching batteries around and doing a little more experimenting. Anyway, found one of these for $22. Took the circuit board back, the best parts out of the 2, made one, ordered another one, $22. Now I got an $85 set of matching Demers. Haha. So, and they work great. I bring them to church with me now. I put them on each side of the cafeteria and play music in it while we're doing the soup kitchen, and everybody seems to enjoy that quite a bit. Oh, something else I've gotten into. I don't even have it out here. Well, I don't know. Maybe I would have brought it out in the shed. But anyway, I found some seasons of old TV shows. South Park in particular. I got the last seasons 10 or seasons 11 through 25 for $75 on a couple of box sets, or a few box sets from Walmart the other day. And for $50, I can get the 1 through 10. And then I'll have the whole set up to 26 that I guess they're just coming out with. Anyway, doing that triggered me to go ahead. Oh yeah, now I remember what I was pointing over here for, and purchase this. And I've got the entire 15 seasons ripped onto nice. Where is it? Boom. Look at that. And I went ahead and got all the bonus features menus and everything saved up as JPEGs or whatever the picture files is. And then they got the actual videos, and I even saved the commentaries, clipped them out and saved them as separate files to play right after the episode plays. And then it'll play the next episode and then the next commentary. Pretty slick. And I did that. And so using this method, I'm going to do all of my Futurama, Family Guy, Reno 911, all of my movies and all the stuff I collected in the late 90s and early 2000s, mostly from Comedy Central, and get them all on there. And so I pulled out my disc repair for trouble. I've already gone through all my old CD-ROMs and got them onto my new Samsung 2 gig SSD hard drive. And I still got over a gigabyte or over a terabyte left. And I meant 2 terabyte Samsung top of the line hard drive. Anyway, but yeah, so I was able to get all my DVD ROMs and CD ROMs on the computer. I got a stack of some of the stuff that might play in a regular DVD or CD player for my neighbors. I'll just give them. They can have the old copies. And then everything else is in the trash. That's where the shoes are going, in the trash. These speakers, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and sell them or give them away. They're still in good shape. I'm not throwing them away, but yeah. And like I said, bass guitar. I actually got it pulled out and I actually practiced on it once earlier this week, and expect to be doing that again, hopefully on the regular. Oh, keyboard. Got my gaming keyboard out, and I'm about to look into getting me a little trackball to start gaming on instead of this mouse over here. And oh, speaking of which, this phone, when it's sitting up over on the walls of the internet and it trips out and gives me trouble, I got it hooked up to Bluetooth now. I just go click, click, move the mouse over here, turn off the hotspot for a moment, turn it back on, click the mouse back over to the PC, and continue on. I don't have to get up and go over there and mess around with everything anymore. And I can, you know, have the option to just leave the screen on this phone, so I don't even have to unlock it every time I just move the mouse and tap the icon. It's a lot more convenient. Anyway, point is, I've been up here. I probably can't do it because I'm using the phone, but anyway, I got up here on God Galaxy, and I've got the Dome Keeper, which I keep competing for high ranks and not really making too much improvement. But I got Quake 2 enhanced. Oh man, that's what the gaming keyboard's for. Is for my first person shooters. But that's my first one. I got some Doom and some Wolfenstein purchased that I need to download and install. And got Dolphin emulator, and I started getting into the Zelda Wind Waker. I tried some of the Mario Kart Double Dash. You know, I don't even know that I like it as much as I like the Mario Kart 64, except just the fact that it's new, so it's fresh. I don't, and I tried Mario Sunshine for about 5 minutes and was like, you know. But this computer though is struggling. It's, you know, it's really, really struggling. So to run that Dolphin emulator. So that'll be something else out with the old and with the new. I might actually go ahead and get that $500 gaming laptop at the pawn shop if I can talk them down to a bit better price. And this will just stay just like it is a low consumption display, and you know, to watch YouTube and stuff. And then I'll have the other computer set up off the side or somewhere, and it'll be hooked up to TV for gaming. And I can also unplug it, take it with me and whatnot. And I still got my other laptop, which is stored down there. I might end up putting that on the wall and hooking it up to the internet phone and using the laptop as a hotspot instead of the phone to see if that does a better and more stable connection. And that also gives me the option to put the other cell phone there and tether it, and maybe I'll have 2 internet connections and 2 cell phones, because I, you know, still got that Samsung A54 5G right here. Just got to get me a SIM card from Visible, because Page Plus doesn't appear to have hotspot anymore. They can't. It's not on the website anywhere anymore, so I'm not even going to try it. Anyway, yeah, so I got my little portable setup for analog audio and HDMI conversions, and you know, of course, the digital ones for the computer and the cell phone. More out with the old and with the new. This thing here doesn't work right anymore, and this never was a very good D-pad. Clip the cable off of that, or take it out from the inside, because, you know, I want to use the little connector on the end. But even that, is using that. But the Bluetooth on this can get a little sketchy and sometimes just clip out. But you know, it's still real good for hooking up to my cell phone and, you know, playing games on the portable and as a backup or second player. But I finally spent a little extra money. And it's not Bluetooth, it's 2.4 gigs, so it's, you know, to reduce some of the latency. But it's not X-Band box branded, but these are nice, smooth, nice D-pad, nice analog triggers, USB-C. It's got turbo functions and features and programmability. Really nice. I think it's like 35 bucks, only like 5 or 10 bucks more than a cheaper one, and still, or I mean, more expensive than a cheap one, and only still $10, $15 cheaper than a actual Xbox branded one that doesn't have all the extra features. So I've been real happy with that too, except the stupid little flashing light on that thing right there can get kind of annoying wherever it went. There it is. That right there, if it's pointed in the wrong direction, can get annoying. It goes out when you turn the remote on though. But yeah, I've converted a lot of my DC USB charging over to AC. You know, having this speaker here up here also makes a great spot for the Bose speaker when I want to, again, low consumption audio. But honestly, I've got my system set up so well now, and the generator with the big 5 chargers up under there charges so good, so effectively on so little fuel, that I can afford to just run this RCA and my big, well, not that, I can, but I don't, but I can afford to run these just like a regular person now. Anytime I come and turn the computer on to listen to anything, those are automatic. hit the power button on that and just use it like a normal person now. I don't even turn on the extra Bluetooth speakers for low consumption anymore. So, you know, maybe that'll be heading out of here one day. All right, J&K. I don't think there's anything else I can think of to update today. I'm sure there's stuff outside, but not really too much because it's just been so cold and rainy. I haven't even hardly been there outside. I guess for what it's worth, see if we can see it from out here, or in here. Yep, there it is. There's the old recliner. Both of the old recliners. All right, J&K. It is time to call this a completed video today. I hope you enjoyed that video at least as much as I enjoy life to make it so far. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you care to, and stay tuned. There's a whole lot more in store. I never know where I'm going to end up next. And as for that RV roof replacement, I'm waiting on the last part in the mail. I've spent $400 out of pocket, and I'm hoping to make a $500 profit, but until something happens, I'm kind of slow down and stuck. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year.